What up, ladies and gentlemen? This is KillerKeemstar, and this is episode 44 of the BadKidCast. This episode is brought to you by Biblical Reaper. Yes, Biblical Reaper has some awesome videos up on his channel. He does a lot of the Call of Dudes, and he will soon be making some Rust videos, because I hooked him up with a Rust account, so I think we're going to be playing that soon. Our second sponsor is the Brett Burns. The Brett Burns. And the Brett Burns has a pretty funny channel. He covers a lot of like Easter eggs and a lot of hacking videos on games. He covers all kinds of stuff like that. He plays a wide variety of different games, but of course your standard Black Ops 2 Call of Duty, he is on it with that game. And then the third sponsor of today's episode was a sponsor on last week's episode, which I completely fucked up, and I'll explain in this cast a little bit more. But it's Woodside Plays. Woodside Plays recently has been doing a lot of Dead Rising, and he plays a variety of different games, a lot of community interaction on his channel. It's a great channel. Check it out, and you're going to hear the story in this cast of how I fucked over Woodside Plays. But go check them out. All the links to all of our sponsors are in the description. Check them out now. Guys, recently we lost a valuable asset to the BadKidCast family. Jamie is no longer going to be handling our sponsorships. She got a paid job, and it's going to take up a lot of her time, so she couldn't focus on helping us out anymore. But she did such amazing work for us, and she really helped us out while she was here. So if you could contact Jamie on Twitter and tell her thank you for all her hard work on the BadKidCast, that would be awesome. Her Twitter is in the description. And Jamie, me and Blade really appreciate all that you've done for us. Thank you very much.
You are now watching another BadKidCast with KillerKeemstar and OnlyusemeBlade.
Wow, that music always pumps me up.
Bam!
I am KillerKeemstar, and I'm here with
OnlyusemeBlade.
This is episode 44 of the BadKidCast.
Fofo.
What is going on? How you doing? How you feeling?
Make sure all your kids don't grow. You know that term from the Tupac?
No.
My forfo, make sure all your kids don't grow. That's, no, I don't know if he says it like that, but yeah. Bam.
I was more of a Biggie fan. Tupac was kind of gay.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just trying to get me to dance.
I'm just saying, like...
You're trying to be a little puppet master trying to make me dance right now, bro.
Like... Pretty much Biggie ran shit, and Tupac was like an attention
Biggie
whore.
ran shit in New York.
No, Biggie like ran shit over the whole world. Like, there's no one better than Biggie as far as a rapper.
No. Sorry.
Who's better than Biggie as far as a rapper?
Well, okay, I will say this. Biggie was a better MC than Tupac, okay? But Tupac, as an artist... will be remembered.
As an artist?
Yeah, as an artist.
He wasn't an artist.
Oh my, are you serious? At USC, they have literally college courses on the works of Tupac.
Tupac was garbage.
You're just trying to get me to...
I'm just saying he wasn't good. Like, Biggie was good. Biggie was good. Biggie was too good.
Dude,
Biggie
to
was
say
the best.
that Pac was garbage? Are you insane?
Pac was garbage, dude.
You know, you've lost all credibility.
How did I lose credibility? There was like somehow like the people on the west side of the country were like, "Hey, we're kind of mad that like the ruler of the world lives in New York, so let's just look for the most."
That has nothing to do with it. Pac was rapping and on the scene before Biggie was on the scene.
Let's look for like the biggest flamboyant attention whore we have. Oh, that guy over there, Tupac. Okay, yeah, we'll use.
You're so full of shit. You're just trying to get me mad or whatever. Like
Suge Knight was like, "Dude,
not gonna work.
New York is making way too much money. They have way more talent.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
I'm gonna need to like bring on this young kid and like try to start a fight. Try to start some drama alerts.
Yeah, you're trying to start a fight. You're trying to start some drama alerts with me. You think I'm gonna fall for this idea? that
Who do you think's better, Biggie or Tupac?
Pac.
You're crazy.
You're nuts for thinking.
You've lost your mind.
Okay, well, shit. If that's how you feel, but you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Dude,
you talk to anybody that grew up during that time, say, who's better, Pac or Biggie? They're gonna say
Biggie.
They're not gonna say Biggie. People in New York are gonna say Biggie because that's the home team. But
where are you from, motherfucker?
I'm from Seattle.
That's the West Coast. So you just took your whole argument and threw it down your throat.
No, but people down in Florida aren't going to be like, oh, yeah, Biggie was way better than Pac.
Yeah,
no,
they are.
No, they're
not just in Florida. I'm talking like in England, France, like Australia, Canada, the Midwest, the South, you name it. Like, Biggie is the champion of champions. Nobody can flow like Biggie.
Why are you trying to get like a rise out of me right now?
I'm not trying to get a rise out of you.
That's the only logical thing I can think. To say something that ridiculous, to say that Biggie is better than Pac? Are you serious?
Biggie is better than Pac.
Biggie's
in a million different ways, Biggie is better than Pac. Biggie is the greatest rapper of all times. Like, I don't even know why we're having this discussion. I feel like you're trolling me.
No, cut that out. You know that Pac is better than Biggie. The thing is that this is even an argument that has ever been had because no one would ever think that this kind of scenario would pop up. Everyone knows Pac is better than Biggie.
No,
it's fact.
no,
fact.
It's not.
It is fact.
Oh my god, it's so
because you're from New York.
It's
that's
so
why.
frustrating. Well, I can easily say that you're from fucking the West Coast, and that's why you think Pac is better.
No, I'm talking about from the state of New York. You guys are going to think that
he was from New York City. I'm from Buffalo. That has nothing to do with New York.
Same New York State.
Oh, it's the same state. So that's why I like Biggie. I like Biggie because Biggie was better. Tupac was garbage.
All right,
Biggie had the most amazing flow in the world.
Let's break it down. What are qualifications that you judge on as far as like why he's the best?
Flow.
Okay, but with Pac, do you know what Pac's talking about when he's doing his stuff?
No one's trying to listen to that.
Oh, you're crazy.
Nobody's trying to listen to that.
Nuts.
We just want to hear Biggie.
No, you just want to hear Biggie.
No, we, the world, wants to hear Biggie.
No, they don't.
We listen to Biggie every day.
Actually, I take that back. I'm not taking anything away from Biggie, okay? Biggie,
yeah, you are. No. You're trying to say Pac is better than him. That's like the biggest insult in the world.
That's not an insult
at
all.
Biggie is the king of kings.
That's adorable that you really think that.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
All right.
I hate when people ask me that. Just go ahead and ask.
Out of
like, what am I going to say? No.
I'm just trying to slow it down and prepare for the question, right?
Okay.
Out of what's remaining of Tupac's crew, and what's remaining out of Biggie's crew, who's doing better?
Remaining out of the crew from 20 years ago?
Who's doing better?
What do you mean? Who's doing better? I have no idea.
Who's doing better?
I have no
Pac's
idea.
crew?
I have no idea.
Obviously, Jay-Z, fucking Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, whatever.
That wasn't part of Biggie's crew.
What do you mean
that's
not part of...
Puff Daddy was, obviously, but
Jay was too.
Jay wasn't part of his crew?
Yes, he was.
No, he was. He was cool with it. He wasn't part of his crew.
Oh, my God.
You're thinking of like Junior Mafia, those guys.
Jay-Z came straight out of the fucking Biggie crew.
What? You're trolling.
You need to go back to your rap
You're
history.
Trolling. So your statement is that Jay-Z was part of Biggie's crew. He was cool with Biggie. He did a couple songs with him.
He came on the scene with Biggie. What do you mean he did a couple songs with him and he's not part of his crew? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, okay, he did songs with Method Man. He did songs with Too Short. I'm talking about.
I'm saying he came up with Biggie.
That's insane, dude. That's like saying Jay-Z is part of Nas's crew. No, it's not. When you talk about a crew, let's get your definition of crew. I'm thinking of like the entourage, the people that his camp. Okay.
Yeah.
Jay-Z was
P. Diddy and Jay-Z were totally in Biggie's camp.
No, they were. Oh my God, really?
Yes.
You're so wrong. I'm not saying really like really. I didn't know that. I'm saying really like I can't believe you right now.
Like Foxy Brown.
Yeah, that I could say that's part of Biggie's crew.
So is Jay-Z though.
No, not Foxy Brown. Little Kim.
Little Kim. Yeah, Little Kim. I don't know why
Little
I said Foxy
Kim,
Brown.
Mace.
I have no idea why I said Foxy Brown. I meant Little Kim.
They're similar. They're similar. Mace, The Locks.
But what I'm saying is the only person that's even made it anywhere out of the fucking West Side Crew to somewhat success is Snoop Dogg. That's it. That's all you got.
Snoop, Dre.
Uh,
What do you mean, To Dre? To Dr. Dre? You said,
Dude, East Coast music is better.
You're insane, dude.
East Coast music
you
is
are
better.
Insane. Now,
The only thing that was ever able to trump that whole West Coast, East Coast beef was the Detroit albino phenomenon known as Eminem. That's it. It was the only thing that came around to trump it.
How do you say to Dr. Dre, dude?
Okay,
Dr. Dre is a
right,
legend.
All right, I guess.
Okay, these are my top 3 producers, okay?
Yo, but when Eminem needed to look for like someone to bring up, did he go to the West Coast or the East Coast? Just wondering.
West Coast.
No, he didn't.
What are you talking about?
Who?
Dr. Dre put Eminem on.
What I'm saying is, okay, yeah, Dr. Dre did put Eminem on. But what I'm saying is, what did Eminem do when he was looking for an artist? Did he go to the West Coast or the East Coast?
He didn't do anything. He lived in Detroit.
He picked up fucking 50 Cent. Where's 50 Cent from? New York.
It's fine. What does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying, New York rules.
Oh my
the
God.
East Coast is so much better than the West Coast in a million
You're
different ways.
insane. There's no way to gauge that. But as far as like...
How the fuck do we even, like, we had, like, so much other shit to talk about. How did we end up talking
good.
about...
I'd rather run circles all day with you because of an insane comment like...
Biggie is literally the best, like, if you're going to talk about, like, flow to a song and just, like, the best music ever, like Biggie, I don't know, Biggie. It's Biggie. It's Biggie. When you think of rap and hip-hop, you don't think of Tupac. You think of fucking Biggie.
Nas is higher than Biggie.
Higher as what?
Higher as a better MC.
In whose book?
In any actual hip-hop head's book, Nas is a level above Biggie. I'm sorry.
No.
Nas?
No!
Are you serious?
No!
Nas is
Biggie is the greatest. There is no one bigger than Biggie.
All right. Now, some people think that to be the great... Now, what about this? If Biggie didn't die, right?
Yeah.
Do you think he'd still be considered the greatest?
Yes.
Okay.
There was, like, no stopping that dude.
I think that the whole part of this is the allure, this romanticizing that people have, because you gotta think,
motherfucker was the greatest when he was alive, though. I remember MTV, him and fucking P. Diddy running from the fucking cops and, like, the airplanes and shit and the music
The Hypnotized
videos.
video, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, Biggie, when he was alive, he was the greatest.
But what I'm saying, though, what I'm saying
So
is...
you're gonna say Kurt Cobain sucked dick?
No.
Alright, well, that's your whole analogy, like, because he died...
But I'll tell you right now, I don't think Kurt Cobain will be as revived if he's still living. If Kurt Cobain's still living right now, I don't think he's going to be as revered. Okay, he's part of that 27 club, okay? That 27 club, like 26, 27, like all these great people die.
You told that thing like a million times.
I didn't tell it, I just brought it up for half a second, okay?
All right.
So there's this romanticized thing that when he passed... Now we just look back and be like, "Oh, it's so awesome." There's lots of people that came out and their first couple albums were amazing. Not on Biggie's level. Biggie, I'm not through all this thing.
Dude, you really got to think, dude, what you're saying, dude. Like Biggie was the greatest and is the greatest. Like, listen to a Biggie track. Listen to Juicy. Oh my God, listen to Juicy.
Nas, I have to pick Nas over Biggie. If you're talking about an MC, about a rapper, about a lyricist. You have to go Nas over Biggie. I'm sorry.
Biggie is the greatest. I don't know. There's not really an argument left. All right. So what did you think about the whole twerking epidemic of Miley Cyrus?
First off, bitches nowadays, I'm sorry, not bitches, but girls nowadays are ratchet hoes. It is what it is. They're, you know what I mean? Like, with Twitter, and I know I sound like a fucking old man sitting on the porch right now, but girls nowadays are hoish, okay?
Yeah.
In comparison to, now, the girls in our days, they were still hoes, but they were, like, classy hoes, and they do it behind closed doors.
Yep.
All that twerking and booty popping, even though she has no ass, that happened on a live stage in front of everyone. Okay?
Dude, there was a picture on CNN of the Will Smiths. Like, the Will Smiths.
That shit's hilarious.
The fucking Will Smith's family, and they all have their mouth open. They're just like, oh.
Like, what the fuck is
with
wrong?
like their hands over their eyes. Like, I can't believe this is happening.
But see, I think Will and Jada, I think, are good parents, you know? And so they probably raise their kids to be, like, good kids. And so to see some ratchetness like that, it's like, god damn, you know?
Okay, so here's the thing. I have no problem with fucking... First of all, Miley Cyrus, that song, is an amazing song. Like, that's a fucking anthem.
What song is that? I don't even know.
And we won't stop, and we can't stop.
Now, that right there, you saying that song's great and that song's an anthem and shit like that, that just goes to prove my point that you can't say anything about the greatest rapper of all time. You can't even...
cut that shit out.
You disqualified yourself out.
The problem is the new Miley Cyrus song is a fucking good song. I'm not saying it's one of the greatest. I'm saying if we're talking about pop songs, that song is better than Friday.
Anything's better than Friday. Happy Birthday's better than Friday. Get the fuck out of here.
It's a good song.
If you have to compare it to Friday to justify it, that means it's a bad song.
It's a good song, and for her to do something
I could
shocking...
fart into a trumpet and make a better song than Friday.
You don't even know... Oh, Friday. I thought you were going to talk about the Miley Cyrus song. It is a good song. Anyhow, here's the thing. I have no problem with her, like, shaking her ass. That's what pop stars are supposed to do. Yeah. The reason why people are flipping out so much and they're so, like, crazy about this is because she was a child star. It's because you can still go back and watch
Britney was a child star. Christina Aguilera was a child star.
No, but there was a huge gap. This is the difference, right? Hannah Montana was super popular as a child star, right? Okay. And then there's just a few years later, then she's an adult acting like a slut, right?
Yeah.
Britney Spears was part of the Mickey Mouse Club, and then like a span of like 5-8 years, a big amount of time goes by where she's not in the public limelight, and people like, she never stood out, was a main character of the Mickey Mouse Club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She didn't stand out enough to basically whatever. So that's the difference between the two, and... I don't know. I don't see any problem with it. It's just like people are overreacting because of the Hannah Montana shit.
Yeah, I don't really see what the big deal is either. Well, I think that because a lot of people, like my mom made a Facebook post about it, like she thought it was just disgusting.
Well, the one thing that's like really like the only thing out of the whole performance that I thought was like really like holy shit, I can't believe you did that, is when she was like taking the foam finger and acting like it was a dick.
Like she was
like,
banging herself with a foam finger. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like whoa.
I don't know. I'm so desensitized that you would have to do some crazy shit for me to be like, whoa.
I was watching like Fox News and they were fucking. Someone's gonna leave a comment. Fuck Fox News. Keem watches fuck. I watch all the newses, so chill the fuck out with your comment.
At the pavilion.
At the pavilion. So listen.
Pavilion.
It's pavilion.
It's not pavilion. It's pavilion.
Let me say this before I forget it. I was watching Fox News, and the one guy, they're asking the guy what his thoughts were. He goes, well, I expect this. You know, it's MTV. They're always doing cutting-edge stuff. You got to remember in the 1980s when Madonna was, like, rolling around half naked on the stage. Everyone freaked out about that, too. And now it looks, like, completely, like, innocent compared to what Miley Cyrus did last night. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to happen, like, next year. Like, what are they going to do? Like, give birth on stage? And I was rolling. I was rolling. I was like, holy shit. This is on Fox News, too.
You think it might be a race thing?
Oh, if it was a black girl, yeah, no one would care.
I'm saying, like, Miley Cyrus is, like, she started doing, like, when we started to notice her ratchiness, it was when she started, like, hanging out with nothing but rappers and doing that kind of shit. It might be a race thing. She's kind of acting kind of black.
No, but do you think it's racist? Because if it was a black girl that did the same exact thing, no one would really care.
That's true. I believe so.
Because I really don't believe anyone would care.
Yeah. But I think also you need to be fine to do some shit like that. Jennifer Lopez and Shakira shake their ass on stage, and everyone's like, that's art, okay? When Shakira dances, like, seductively and puts her fucking ankles behind her head and shit like that, we're like, she's a fucking artist. Wow, look at that. But when fucking Miley Cyrus she looks cranked out. She looks smoked out. Like, she looks like she's been doing drugs.
She's just, Miley Cyrus is not like, I I don't know. She's just not a fat girl.
I'm not talking about a fat girl.
I don't think Miley Cyrus looks that bad. The only thing that I would say that's wrong with her is her fucking haircut.
Yeah, what's up with the haircut, Miley? Get back at me. Holler at me on Twitter.
I have no idea.
So
the hair is probably the only thing that's messed up. I don't think she's not like out of shape. She doesn't look disgusting. I don't think she looks disgusting at all.
I mean, the haircut isn't helping her. You know what she reminded me of when I saw her? She reminded me of the girl from Newsroom.
What girl?
The fucking the redheaded girl.
Yeah, that dyed her hair red.
That dyed her hair. Yeah.
Well, just at the MTV Music Awards, like the costume that she came out of, she looked like fucking like white trash.
Yeah.
Like she really did look like white trash.
There you go.
But yeah.
So on the previous episode of the BadKidCast.
Oh yeah.
There's
a guy called Woodside, right?
You explain.
All right, so basically, you know that we have sponsors for the show. We have sponsors for this episode and for every episode, pretty much.
In the description below.
Yeah,
not now.
If you're looking to sponsor, just hit us up on Twitter. We'll direct you in the right way. It's cheap, fair, easy. Okay, moving on. So, I picked up some sponsors for the last episode. And what I do when we get sponsors is I go and I look at their YouTube channels or their website, and I watch some videos and I tour it, whatever, and give an honest review and promotion of each individual channel.
It's
or
not
website.
Saying, "Hey, this guy does Call of Duty, go see him." It's
yeah,
we actually look and see what they have to offer.
We actually watch their videos so we can better describe them. A lot of times people send us exactly what to say, and I don't know if we agree to that or not.
No, I hate when they do that.
I think we do agree to it, but then
if you let us know what your channel's about, but don't say, I'm up and coming this, and I'm about to start a Let's Play.
Yeah, we don't read your script, dude.
Yeah.
I actually look at your channel and tell the people what's up. So anyhow, I go to this, I know that's bad. People are like, well, I wanted him to say this. No, motherfucker, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say what I feel is the best thing about your channel. You're going to get an honest review. A subscriber trust. All right, moving on. This Woodside dude, I know, Blade is like, oh my god, this is so bad. Just shut up.
No, this isn't bad.
Just shut up,
No, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. This is actually kind of funny, and we're making it right. It's a funny situation, so we're sharing it with our BadKidCast audience.
So anyhow, this guy named Woodside, and we talked about him already at the beginning of this video. You definitely check him out. I just want to tell the story about what happened last week with him, or the last episode, excuse me. So I go to each one of these channels to check them out so I can tell you guys, the fans, what is cool to check out about their channel. I click on this dude's channel, and the first thing I notice is a vlog, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to check this vlog that the guy made. Now, this guy's rubbing himself with peanut butter, and he's like, man, it's hot outside. Yeah, maybe I need a peanut butter shirt. And he puts peanut butter on. And then he's like, guys, honestly, I fucked up. I haven't been uploading videos normally, so I'm going to put whipped cream. And then he puts whipped cream all over himself. And I'm laughing, right? I'm thinking this video is kind of cool or whatever. Well, not really cool, but just fucking outlandish.
Yeah,
right?
out there. Something different. It's not the run-of-the-mill, not something you see every day.
Yeah, it's something like, what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
So when I was doing the promotion to his channel, I talk about that video. All of a sudden, Woodside starts tweeting at Jamie, because Jamie's our guy. Fuck, dude, I need to learn how to speak. Our woman who handles all the promotions and stuff for BKS, right? And he's like, dude, I feel like my channel wasn't represented well enough, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, this is the peanut butter dude. He's being a fucking cunt. I'm thinking to myself, ungrateful bastard.
And just the idea of a dude that rubs peanut butter whipped cream for a YouTube video would be offended on how we represented him on the BadKid show.
Yeah. I'm like, fuck.
You didn't get my artistic side.
I'm like, Woodside is a cocksucker, right? Yeah. So fucking Blade responds to him, right? Blade responds to him, and he's like, dude, whatever the problem is, we'll fix it.
Just to let you guys know of how that response worked out, I get a little beep on my phone, and it's a Twitter notification. I read it, and I barely read it. It's like, I have an issue with how I was represented, and I was like, I'm in the middle of a fucking search and destroy game, and I die. I'm like, we'll make it right next show, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know the whole story, you know?
So Blade's like, dude, we'll take care of it, no problem, right? I'm looking at these tweets, right? And I'm like, dude, this peanut butter fucking covering whipped cream fucking faggot. Like, I fucking point out, like, the most amazing thing about your goddamn channel, and now you're fucking mad about it? And I'm like, what a fucking ungrateful cunt, I'm thinking. So instead of me saying all this, right, I just write, grrr, like I'm mad.
Yeah.
So a couple hours go by, I'm fucking working on different things, and I'm like, go back to look at the YouTube channel to read some of the comments of that episode. And I start reading, that's not his video. That's just a video he liked. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no way. So I hurry up and fucking go to Woodside's channel, right? I get there, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's not his video.
Yeah.
And I felt like the biggest fucking douchebag in the world. And not only that, but the kid's video who he liked that covered himself with peanut butter now got like this free promotion from the BKS. So he's all in the comments like, hey, that was me that covered myself with peanut butter, not him. So I like deleted that comment and fucking blocked that kid. I'm like, you fucking scumbag.
He's not a scumbag for taking the promotion, but like, that's fucking funny though. So we accidentally promoted the wrong person.
And we're really, really fucking sorry. So do us a favor and go to the right dude's channel and subscribe. And tell him Keemstar is sorry. And Blade is still playing Search and Destroy. We're going to be right back after this. And we are back with some mocha iced coffee.
Thank you for this delicious treat.
I love it. It's awesome. Melissa actually started buying it, and it's just great.
I love Tim Hortons. If I ever move away from here, I'm gonna miss Tim Hortons.
Me and Kitty were having a big conversation about coffee because she's like a coffee fiend. Mm-hmm. If you guys don't know who Kitty is, she's like a YouTube goddess, knows everything there is to know about like YouTube and stuff.
FPS Russia's manager.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. She's like the woman behind FPS Russia. Yeah, so me and her were having a big conversation about coffee, and we were starting to talk. She was like talking about, you know, some coffee brand where she drives like an hour to go to, and I was like, well, Tim Hortons is the shit. And she's like, yeah, I know, that's really good. I've had it when I'm up here, but we don't have that down in Georgia. And we were talking about like crazy coffees. I was telling her about this bulletproof coffee that like I got hooked on with the butter. Did you have that?
Oh my god, that was amazing.
Yeah, that coffee is like really good.
That was amazing. Like when I had it, I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then you're like, yeah, it's like $30 a pound. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, so there's this bulletproof coffee, and it was a sponsor, I believe, on the Joe Rogan show. And I was like, oh, let me check it out. And what it is most of the coffee in the United States has like bacteria and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And like there's like a certain amount of mold that coffee can have on it before it can be sold all around the world, but we don't have those restrictions in the United States. So all the shitty coffee comes to the United States, and that's why we have not that healthy of coffee. Mm-hmm. Well, this guy actually like has everything like hand-picked where there's no mold at all. And that it's like the best coffee you could possibly get, but not just that.
Tastes amazing.
But not just that, he adds like butter to it, and what the butter does is in your blood system, it like releases the caffeine like at a longer period instead of like that fast rush. It just like releases it slower, and so I bought some of it, and it was amazing. It was really good. So I was telling her about that, and she was telling me about some place near her, and we ended up talking about. And I cannot pronounce the name, but I'm sure someone will put it in the comments or whatever. There's a certain type of coffee bean that's super expensive, and like basically a cat eats it and poops it out.
What?
Yeah, or a monkey. There's two different versions, right? Basically, this cat in South America will eat the coffee beans, right? Like eat them right off the plant, right? And then when it poops them out, they sift the beans out of the poop, and it's like supposed to be like the best coffee in the world. And the same thing over in like Thailand with monkeys, like they sift the coffee beans out of the poop of the animal.
You want to hear a crazy story that happened to me today at McDonald's?
What happened?
So, literally, I changed my sleep schedule today for the sole purpose of I kept on sleeping in and not making it to the post office in time. I needed to mail a couple things.
Okay.
So, I stayed up, Matt packed it up, made videos, and when the post office opened at 8:30 this morning, I was there.
Okay.
So I went there, and on the way back, I was like, you know what? I haven't had McDonald's breakfast in a long time. I don't really fuck with McDonald's too much, but I'm like, let me do some McDonald's breakfast. Go in there, order some food, sitting there eating, and the manager of McDonald's is interviewing people, like has like 3 people. There's this one dude, and he looks like shit. Like he looks like he had a rough night, you know?
Okay.
And so he sits down there, and he looks like he doesn't even want the job. Okay? So she's asking him all the standard questions that you get asked in an interview. And she starts talking about availability. And I shit you not. This guy goes, my brother just got out. So, you know, we've been hitting the pubs kind of hard. So I don't really want anything in the morning. I'll be a little bit hungover. In a fucking job interview. I know it's McDonald's. Okay, I get it. All right? But, you still have to be somewhat professional. And to tell a person at your job interview that your brother just got out of prison and that, or I don't know, prison or jail, whatever.
What did you do?
I was just listening like, oh my fucking God. I thought I was like...
What was the reaction of the person that asked? Was she laughing?
No, she at first she thought it was a joke. Like, she thought the guy was just had a dry humor about it. But then she realized he was serious. And she was saying, she's like, yeah, we don't encourage that you drink the night before your shift. We need you to be alert and on point.
Yeah. And
he was like, well, yeah, I would prefer to work, afternoons or night or whatever. I'm not really a morning person, So. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, why?
Yo, people get so caught up about interviews. Like,
I know, you just got to be natural.
Look, at the end of the day, when you go to an interview, lie. You're a fucking lie. You don't go and tell them, like, I got caught shoplifting when I was like 15.
Yeah, you don't bring that shit
up. Like, what is wrong with these motherfuckers? Like, they're so stupid, they don't know what an interview is.
No, don't lie to the point that... Like,
lie to the point where you look like the fucking president of the United States.
No, here's the thing. Don't lie, like, if they ask you, like, are you certified in, like, Visual C Plus or something like that? Like, don't lie about shit like that, because then they're going to expect you to do it, and then you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Right.
But as far as, like, I don't even know why they ask these questions. Like, imagine, like, as a team member, one person wasn't doing their part, and, it needed to be done. What would you do in that situation? Of course, you'd be like, you pick up the slack and you do what you got to do for the good of the team. Like, there's fucking the most basic, fucked up answers ever.
Dude, why is it every time I've ever had an interview, they would ask, like, what is an amazing thing that you want to do with your life? Like, they always ask those, like, weird questions like that.
I'd be like, not work at McDonald's.
I'm like, I just remember, like, in all my interviews, I would, like, just tell this, like, crazy long fucking story and, like, make it super detailed and just, like, grab their attention. You know what I mean? They get, like, so caught up in you, they're like, I'm fucking hiring them. Like,
yeah, exactly. You pretty much, like, an interview is kind of like a first date, and you need to be charismatic. You know what I mean?
If they give you a chance to entertain them, entertain them.
Well, the worst, though, is if you crack a joke and the person doesn't get it, you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? You're like, no.
Yeah, and if you're going to crack a joke, make sure it has nothing to do with, like, sexuality.
Yeah, you can't be inappropriate. Yeah. You know that show Girls? There's this scene where she's looking for a job, and she pretty much is joking around with the dude, and then she pretty much says that, she finds out the dude's from Syracuse, the interviewee, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're from Syracuse? Like, what year? He's like, oh, I graduated in 07. He's like, really? That's crazy. Like, in 08, the date rape statistics drops drastically at Syracuse. And then there's just awkward silence, and he's like, he couldn't believe she said that, And he's like, and then she like made it worse, but that's because I was making a joke saying that you date rape girls. Sorry. Yeah, you obviously like, and I hate when you're with people and they make inappropriate comments. You're like, fuck.
Dude, when I worked at the attorney's office, right, there was this one girl that I went to school with, right, and she was a normal girl, and then she got like caught up in like coke really bad, and she turned into a big like druggy slut, right? So all of a sudden, this bitch comes into my work for an interview, and I'm thinking, dude, I live like 40 miles away. Like, how the fuck did this bitch end up interviewing here?
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. And I won't say any, not even first names, because there's probably people here that can figure this out real quick. But anyhow, she goes into the office, right, and slams the fucking door. Now, like, slams it, like, with authority. And then, like, we're all, like, we're all close enough to, like, the manager's door that you can hear, like, the door locking. It's like click, 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 and the door locks. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what the fucking world is going on? Now, my manager at the time, recently divorced, single, like, fat old guy, right?
Yeah.
So the last thing that's going on my mind is that she's going to try to suck her way to get this job, right? Wrong. Dude, she freaking comes out, right? She's, like, wiping her face, like, her hair's all messed the fuck up.
What?
She runs right to the bathroom, right? My fucking manager comes out, like, wobbling out, like, big fucking wide eye, like he just, like, a deer in headlights, right? We're like, oh my God. So we ended up talking to him on, like, the next smoke break. We're like, dude, we know. Like, we heard it. Like, we didn't hear shit when they were in the room. What's going on? Dude, this bitch ended up sucking his dick trying to get the fucking job.
What a trooper. That's a go-getter right there.
I just can't believe that happened in front of my face. Like, it was, like, there's no way that shit really happens. And,
it does.
So she ended up getting the job, and she came in the first day, and then was, like, late for a week, and then came in, like, I'm no joke, a month later, trying to work like nothing happened.
Oh, okay.
Like she wasn't gone for a month.
So, okay. I've never tried to pull off some slick like that, but I have pulled off this move. I know I'm late for work, but let me walk in and act like I'm not late and just start working, and then act surprised when they're like, why are you... Like, if your shift starts at 8 or whatever, and you walk in at 10 and just start working, like, 10 on the dot, right?
Yeah.
And the people are like, what the fuck? Whoa, no call, no show, what's wrong?
And then you just pull the whole, like, oh, my schedule's wrong?
I could have sworn that I started at 10. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I literally was killing time in the parking lot. I didn't mean to. Like, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And
yeah.
I got away with it before, one time.
I've got away with that before, too.
It's a slick move, because you're just like, okay, let's give it a go. And you walk in, and you just like, hey,
well,
how you
at one point, because my job was so commission-based that they didn't want to pay anyone 40 hours. So
yeah.
you could only work, like, 39 hours, right? You couldn't work 40 because then it would be considered full-time. They'd have to pay whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Benefits and all that shit.
So what I would do, right, is I would work, like, 20 hours a fucking week. And I would get yelled at all the time, and I would just keep throwing it in their face. I'm like, if you want me to work 39 hours, then let me work an extra hour and give me my fucking benefits. Because if I'm a part-time employee and I can do a better job at these people working 39 hours than 20 hours, you have no argument. I would sit there and school them in their face.
Yeah.
They would keep pulling me into the office to yell at me, and I'd keep on, like, giving them, like, nothing to go on. They tried 3 different people to try to, like, convince me to come and work my shift. And I'm like, I don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm commission based, you cunts. I was getting paid $20 an hour too. Like I was getting good paid, like hourly rate, but my time was more valuable. I was young. I was making fucking $70,000 a year. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that you can't tell me anything swag. I love that swag. Like, okay, when back home when I did the bouncing on the side, like YouTube was my money, and then I just bounced on the side just for whatever, you know, just to do something.
Yeah.
It was so funny because they knew that at any time, like, I didn't need the job. When an employer knows that you don't need the job or you don't need the hours or whatever, and you're just you're there and you're doing your thing.
They treat you completely
They
different.
treat you completely differently, because if you're there and you, like, hate it, but you have to be there, like, you have to fucking work.
They treat you like shit.
Yep, exactly.
But it was like, I was so good at my fucking job that there were people that were doing this their whole entire life that were like 40 years old, right? That I was outperforming in half the time. Like, you're not going to tell me shit.
Yeah.
If you fire me, that's your loss. And I know it. Like,
yeah,
you know what I
mean? Every job has that, where there's like that old dude that never quite made it. Like, he's like, if you work at like a Safeway for 5+ years and you're like working in produce and stocking or whatever,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like become management material. You know what I mean? Like that's like something that happens within like the first year.
I always feel bad for that guy that's like 50 years old working at some like fucking 8 hours a dollar job. You know what I mean? Like I always feel bad for that dude. It's like he never just wanted to be king, dude. He just wanted to go with the flow.
But also, there's been interesting articles like people they want to raise the minimum wage. Like people are saying that because here's the thing: minimum wage has not increased, but like the value of the dollar is greatly decreased.
Dude, the minimum wage should be $15.
Yo.
It honestly should be.
Yeah.
I mean, like our companies are making so much goddamn
Let me just
money.
put it in perspective, okay? If I tell you to do something like a rigorous 4 minutes of doing something. And I'm only paying you $1 for it. Okay, that sounds insane, right?
Yeah.
That's what minimum wage is. If it was $15, basically $1 for every 4 minutes. So if you're sitting here right now, right, and you're like, Blade, bro, I need you to go do something, like a bunch of things real quick. It'll just take 1 minute. Please, will you do this for me? Mm-hmm. And you'd gladly pay me $1 for that, right?
Yeah.
If you had your friends over, or if you had someone over to do something, you would pay them more than $15 for an hour's worth of work. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to get back on my home theater gig, bro. I used to make good money doing that.
Well, I mean, why don't we just set up a company? Let's just do it. Give me 20%.
See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. 20% for what?
For doing the books.
For doing the books?
Motherfucker, you cannot start your own company.
I had my own company back home.
You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do the books. You're not going to be able to do the phone calls. You're not going to be able to do like set up the fucking.
I'm not going
arrangements.
to talk about fucking getting like a warehouse
I'm
and a
saying
fleet of
you
fucking
give me-
install
you
vans.
give
I'm
me-
talking about like I put a thing on Craigslist and I do home theater work and then I go in, do a job, make a couple $100 and that's it. It's simple. It's easy.
You do no.
What do you mean no?
I'm just saying, like, you need to give me 20% if you want.
Why? Show me the value of me
Then
giving you 20%.
Then go do it.
I am.
You're not going to do it.
I did it back home.
You're not going to do it.
Why not?
If you gave me 20%, you'd be doing it. It would be happening. You'd be doing fucking, I got to go in Amherst.
You still haven't answered why am I giving you 20%?
Because
Why am
I
giving you
do work, and you don't work.
I do work. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry, all right, but let's be real. I'm a worker. You're not a worker.
I am a worker. If I have a job, I do it.
Yeah, because someone told you, hey, you got to go do that. But you taking the initiative to go do that ain't going to happen without me saying, hey, motherfucker, you got this thing right here, and I got to set up a fucking 11 p.m. here.
I'll set up
or 11 a.m.
I'll set up a fucking reminder on my iPhone. I don't need to pay you 20% to tell me to do something.
Yep.
You're telling me I'm going to give you 20% of whatever I make for the mere fact of you as a motivator?
Not just as a motivator, I'm talking about setting up all the fucking things.
It's not that hard. I get a phone call. Hello, how you doing? This is the
All
situation.
right, well, go do it. I wish you luck.
I did it back home.
When you need to give me 20%, let me know.
What?
We'll start a multi-million-dollar
You're not
company.
giving immediately before anything happens. You're like, give me 20%. But I'm like, what are you offering for that? Besides, what, you taking some phone calls and promise me that I'll be out at a. I could do that. I did that.
Then do it.
I'm going to.
All right.
20%.
Now, when you actually want to be a millionaire and start like $1 million company of setting in all these things, then like actually like having attorneys and having insurance and having more employees working underneath you and actually being worth something more than just you going out and doing the shit, call me. Let me know.
Okay.
When my 20% is there, then we'll get working.
I like how you already had it planned out.
I do have it planned out. You, motherfucker, you're not going to fucking set up a company to go do, like, home installation of fucking
I'm not
speakers.
talking about doing that. I'm talking about offering a service. I did this back home. I used to work for a reputable actual business, and then I did it on my own. I didn't have, like, it wasn't like I had a fucking, like, vans and technicians and fucking insured, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't like that. It was like, hey, some guy bought all this equipment and wants me to set up his home theater, or some guy bought this remote that he doesn't know how to program. Whatever, I could set that stuff up.
Okay, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah, you're going to go set up home theaters and everything, right? But don't you want someone else doing it and then you sitting at home making money?
Yeah, well, that'd be nice. But
well,
like,
that's what's going to happen when I have 20%, is because I'm going to set that up. We're going to hire people. Then we want minimum wage to stay at fucking $5 an hour. And we're going to fucking send these motherfucking goobers out there. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. American dream, motherfucker.
That's kind of, that is the American dream, and if you think about it, it's pimping.
If you want to be that 50-year-old man that just didn't quite make it, and he's still out there putting wires together for home security, that's fine. But I'm talking about being a king. I'm all about the king shit.
I showed you the ad block video.
Oh, Jesus.
So if you guys don't know, if you missed my video, whatever, basically, ad block is a program that allows you to, it basically blocks advertisements, right? And
don't get it.
Don't get it. When we offer, like,
just so you know, ad blocker, right? The people that use ad blocker, it blocks ads on the internet, right? We already said that. I'm going to say it again, just so it's clear. That ad blocker, the use of ad blocker is single-handedly killing the YouTuber. Like, it's destroying us. We're not going on a wings tangent here to cry about it, but literally, YouTubers are making no money whatsoever because everyone is using ad block. Continue.
Okay. So, their fan, a viewer, whatever you want to call them, tweeted me a video, right? And it was made by the creators of Adblock, right? Or Adblock or whatever. Anyway, and in the video, they're like, I love internet with no ads. It's great. So we came up with a great idea. We want to share that with people. So this is what we're going to do. They're having a fundraiser, and I don't know why I'm talking like the Asian nerd.
They're having a Kickstarter.
They're having a Kickstarter.
And they're trying to raise as much money as they possibly can so they can put out ads, right?
Ad blocker is
ad blocker.
To promote ad blocker.
And they even went as far as saying, like, if they get enough money, that they're going to do, like, a Super Bowl ad.
Yeah.
But just the idea, and they said that they're going to do YouTube ads. So imagine you're on YouTube, right? And all of a sudden an ad comes up about blocking all the other ads. What the fuck?
Stupid. Dumb.
Why does Google let them be a plug-on? I don't get it.
I think they actually own them.
It's literally costing them money.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. Actually, I came up with an interesting idea. Hear me out. I think that it's a good thing if AdBlock gets more popular. It's going to suck for a little bit, but I think that it needs to get out of hand for it to be fixed. Okay? It needs to affect Google in such a way where they're like, oh my God, we lost $1 billion because we didn't,
well,
because
the companies are going to just have to start manually working with the YouTubers. So you're going to see trolling die because no company's going to be like, oh yeah, you're Sparkles, a gay rapper, and you want to stick your dick up another dude's crapper? Yeah, we're not giving you money. Like we're not putting Tide ads on your videos anymore.
Yeah, so that right there is going to kill creativity. That's why everyone likes YouTube, because it's whatever we want to do, and it's just kind of shitty. So I don't want to dwell too much on it, but I thought the video of these goobers. Like, the owner of Adblocker, the guy that created it, looked like he was, like, stoned off of every drug in the book.
High as hell.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Chinese, like, places have Chinese people working at them still.
Because it's a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, but it makes no sense to me.
Why does it make no sense to you?
Well, imagine if you were to go get a pizza, right? And you went to, like, Pizza Hut or whatever. You went to your local pizza place, right?
Okay.
And there was nothing but Italians working there. Wouldn't that be weird?
Not at all. Why would that be weird? If you went to a mom and pop pizza place and nothing but Italians, why would that be weird?
All right. Well, let me ask you another question then. You wouldn't think that would be weird, right?
No.
All right. Now, if you go to an Italian, like, pizza place, right, and there's black people working there or Asian people working there, whatever, is that weird?
No.
No, it's not weird, is it?
No.
So why is it that all the Chinese restaurants have nothing but, like, Chinese people working at them? Why isn't there white people working at them? Why isn't there Irish people, black people? There should be everyone.
I don't think people would trust it.
What do you mean not trust? What?
I don't think people would trust it. Like, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, you expect to be like, hello, place your order. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, okay, so this is what I would do, right, to fix that problem, right? I'd set up a Chinese chain, right, Chinese restaurant, but I'd hire, like, anybody but Asian people. Like, Asian people wouldn't be allowed. And I would force everybody. Well, no, obviously I can't say that. Asian people would be allowed. But for the most part...
You're not getting the job.
For the most part, most part, it would be like other races that work at the place, right? And they would all have to talk like in a Asian accent. Do you know how funny that would be?
Oh my god! That's
And wear the like little hats and shit. Like, hi, how you doing? Yes, like they all had to talk like that. They could never break out of character. This should be so hilarious. What did you want to eat there? Come on, you know you'd want to eat there.
But I mean, like, I don't know. Actually, I don't really care. I don't really care where the food comes from because if you're going out to eat, you're going out to eat whatever. Like, I don't need the pizzeria place to be nothing but, Italian dudes.
Dude, I hate food after I eat. Because food is so great, but then after I eat, it's gone. Like, it's just gone.
Yeah, but that's with, like, everything, though. There's very few things that you just get to keep.
No, you're true. There's not. But it's just so weird. Like, like, if you're really, really hungry right before you eat something, and then you start eating it, it's like the most amazing thing in the world, and it's just gone. It's gone. That whole bliss, the whole endorphins coming out of your brain saying, yes, this is amazing.
Man, when I went to LA, I ate this place called the Rockfish. Mm-hmm. And it was like in the area where like the Staples Center is.
Yeah.
And oh my god, that shit was amazing.
What was it?
I had shrimp and spicy sausage jambalaya.
Who did you go out to eat with?
Tabes.
Yeah.
Tabes is good people. We had a good time. That's actually the first time I got to kick it with Tabes. Like, we've gone to events before, but it's always like we were busy. Like, this is the first time we actually got to like hang out and kick it and shoot the shit. It's very cliquey there. Not really cliquey. There's like two groups of people. You know what I mean? Like there's like this. There's like the freshman class of like these YouTubers. And
I'm still frustrated I didn't get to go. I wish I could have, but I had other important things to do. So basically, there was like the old school. And then there was, like, second gen.
Yeah. And so there's some bleeding over, but, like, I just noticed that a lot of the old school dudes kind of kicked it with each other.
Dude, if I got to go, someone would have got slapped. If I fucking would have been there. Oh, someone would have been slapped.
Oh, boy.
There would have been someone that would have got slapped.
But you know what's also interesting, though? That there's pro players that I don't know. Like, besides, like, the usual suspects, like the Optic guys. Yeah. I don't really know... I'm still cracking up at the dudes that were like yelling and screaming at the one event.
We talked about it, but that episode got not uploaded.
Well, I mean, it's old news by now, but I think everyone's seen the.
All right, yo, I gotta tell you a funny story. All right, you know Ashley Optic, right?
Yep.
All right, so Optic Midnight. Basically, just recently, Microsoft switched it, so you have to use, like, money instead of Microsoft points on your Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So her Microsoft points transferred to, like, $7.50. So she tweeted out a picture of her, like, $7.50 that it showed up there, and she titled it, "Yo, look at my bank account."
Someone took a remix of him yelling and screaming and showed him next to old Ric Flair footage, and it looked exactly the same.
Because he was like, woo! Woo! Woo!
That shit was awesome. Like, at first I was like, these guys are assholes, but then like every time I watch it now, I'm like, that's hilarious.
It's the greatest fucking video ever, and the team broke up now.
What?
Dude, we're never going to have entertainment like that again. Yeah. Okay, first of all, a couple of the players, they said, you're not allowed to go to fucking COD Ghost. They kicked him out of COD Ghost because of their behavior. Because obviously, when you're starting to talk shit to fucking what's-his-name, who, like, started the competitive thing.
Hastro, yeah.
When you're talking shit to Hastro, and then Hastro's, like, working with Activision, as an employee of Activision.
To develop the E side of Call of Duty.
There might be a chance that you no longer get to go to COD Ghost.
Your controller might not work after that.
So
just in general, just any account you touch.
So that thing happens, and by the way, Microsoft or Hastro or whoever the fuck it was that didn't invite them to COD Ghost, I think you're supposed to be the good guys, and I think that was low on your part. You should have let them go to COD Ghost regardless. But, anyhow, I guess a normal person would fucking put the brakes on that. But I still think you should have let them go regardless. But anyhow, it is the greatest fucking moment that ever happened. And then after that happened and they got shut down, right, Parasite, which is the main guy in their team, right, he ended up leaving and going to Unite playing for a different team. So now the team's completely broken up.
That's crazy.
It's horrible. It's horrible that it happened because we may never be entertained by Impact the way we were. Like, Impact were the bad boys of Call of Duty.
Okay, who was the dude that was going, woo, woo? Who's that?
That's Killa.
Killa, okay. So is he still playing for a different team?
No, he plays the black kid, Mirko,
yeah,
and the white kid, Killa, right? They're the only two survivors of Impact.
So the other dude, the dude that showed us butt crack, what happened to him?
He was the leader of Impact. He left, and now he's playing for a new team called Unite. Okay. A different team called Unite. So the team is completely broken up. There was 4 of them that won all these games in a row. One of them's name was Karma. He went to go play for someone else. So there was 3 of them that remained. They were the badasses of fucking esports.
But eventually
they were the legends.
Eventually these guys are going to play against each other then in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, which sucks, dude. Like
That's going to be awesome. You know what shit talking they're going to be?
No, it was the dream. See, Parasite is known as one of the best players in the game, right? Okay. And, like, to the point where he should be making nade shot money, all right? And he's not making nade shot money yet. And this whole thing is bad press. And, like, they didn't give a fuck about bad press. They were just on the whole, like, I don't give a fuck shit. And that's what made them so great. But now he's starting to think, like, dude, fucking Nate Shot's making, like, X amount of dollars. I should be making way more than that. The only reason why I'm not is because I'm talking trash and, like, not being good for sponsors and shit like that.
Yeah.
So he fucking leaves, right? And he's, like, now being a polite, good PR person to try to get that money.
But it's only been, like, what, a month? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Well, he's got to start somewhere if he's going to do that.
True,
but I disagree. I think Parasite and your whole team, Killa and Mirgos and all you, I think you should not give a fuck about the money. Don't give a fuck about the sponsorships. Don't give a damn about it. Think about years from now. Think about 100 years from now. Who are they going to talk about? Are they going to talk about the squeaky clean guy that fucking, got all these sponsorship deals, that did this and did that? Or are they going to talk about the dudes that fucking won? That talk shit, won. And, like, obviously in the time of Muhammad Ali, people of that time thought that guy was a fucking loudmouth, fucking talking trash, stupid motherfucker. And they never thought that he was going to be looked at as a fucking legend. But the fact of the matter is the reason why we love Muhammad Ali is because he talked shit and won. And that's what Impact did. They talked shit and won. They weren't in it for the fucking money. They were in it to be fucking altar boys, to fucking get on their knees in front of fucking sponsors. That's not what they were in it. They were about playing the game the way the game is played. You fucking normal person gets on Call of Duty and you talk shit. You're like, fuck you, I'm going to fucking teabag you, I'm going to destroy you, suck my dick, you're a faggot, blah, blah, blah. That is what Call of Duty is. And these guys were a direct reflection of Call of Duty. But the problem is with the Call of Duty community is you are the most retarded motherfuckers in the world. And you gave them so much hate, and you fucking looked down at them. And so many people in the esports community said, oh, they're ruining the sport. Oh, they're doing such bad. Oh, they're never going to go anywhere if they're going to act like that. You fucking whined so much that you have actually got into Parasite's head. And now instead of Parasite being a fucking living fucking legend that represented the real Call of Duty and what real Call of Duty is, now he's went away. And we may never, ever be entertained by such a badass, I don't give a fuck fucking team ever again like that.
That was a beautiful speech, Keem.
That's from my heart. That's from my motherfucking
soul.
Heart. That is. That's how I think about it. Like, that shit was legendary. There is a reason why everybody for the last fucking month has been talking about Impact and not fucking Optic. It's because you were up on a stage, you were talking shit, you fucking did something entertaining, and we all love it. Stop. Why'd you stop? Why'd you stop entertaining us?
I don't know what to say after that.
You know I'm right.
I mean, you're not right, but you do have a point. I'll say that.
I'm right.
Okay, you're right. Fuck it.
We'll be right back after this. All right, and we are back. So I think we had a good episode.
Great episode.
We talked about a lot of stuff. Is there anything more to talk about?
Let us know in the comments about Pac versus Big, because
No, they already know. It's Biggie. No, don't. You had this big pause and roll of your eyes before you mentioned that, like, because you knew what was going to happen, right? Me and the rest of the world are going to tell you Biggie is champ.
Comment section, let your voice be heard. Finn?
That's
what they say at the end of movies.
Did you hear what's going on with Syria?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, you didn't. No, you
Syria,
didn't.
we're about to go to war and shit, yeah.
Do you know why we're going to war?
No, why?
WikiLeaks said that there's a bunch of countries that we're going to try to attack. Syria, Iran, like Iraq, like fucking all these countries, right? Libya. And the reason why we overthrow them is because they're trying to take the dollar as represented in buying. For those of you that don't know, you can only buy oil in U.S. dollars. Okay?
Okay.
And our government was smart enough to go to all these, like, rich oil companies and be like, look, we'll offer you protection, we'll give you money, just make sure you only trade in U.S. dollars, right? And because so many U.S. dollars are among the world, the dollar holds its value.
Yep.
All right?
We talked about this before.
Yeah. If, for some reason, right, a country were to be like, you know what, I'll sell you this oil and I'll take Chinese money in return instead of U.S. dollars, then China would no longer need U.S. dollars. They wouldn't hold U.S. dollars. They'd get rid of their U.S. dollars, and the value would go to shit, right? And let's say they made these deals with all the countries. It would cost you about $10,000 for a pair of Nikes, right?
Okay.
So recently, Libya was like, you know what? I don't think we're going to use U.S. dollars anymore. We're going to make a new currency. So what we did is we overthrew Libya, and we put it back on the dollar thing, right? Same thing in Iraq, and same thing with Syria was trying to do with, like, Russia and shit, right? So we're going to go in there and fucking kill them because of this. It's not really about them gassing people. I think they staged it. I think the rebels fucking gassed people.
I think that NSYNC and Miley Cyrus did what they did the VMAs to gather attention away from people to make us forget about what's going on. It's a cover-up! The Illuminati.
Look it up. Look it up.
Peace and bunkers.
Yeah.